Hello there. This video is going to give you a little taster about Mercury, such an important planet that I think is underestimated greatly. Mercury is the planet of communication. It's the planet that rules information, and we are in the information age, so I feel that Mercury shows us a great deal in your chart how you communicate. How comfortable you are with communicating some things and maybe not communicating other things. Maybe you have a very strong Mercury in your chart where you're a chatterbox and nobody can shut you up, and you're on the phone, you're on your iPod, you're always communicating. You have to have some kind of communication device in your hand at any given time. So Mercury can never be more than 28 degrees from the sun. So what does this mean? Well, this means that Mercury is either in the same sign as your sun, and all of you will know your sun sign, or it's in the sign before your sun sign, or it's in the sign after your sun sign. It can never be further away than your sun than that. Now, for many people, it's going to be in the same sign as their sun. So for these people, very often learning is a lot easier because you're in alignment with your personality, with how you see things. So very often when the Sun and Mercury are in the same sign, it can be a lot easier to communicate. When they're in different signs, sometimes you will feel as though you are misunderstood. People just don't get you. And the further away Mercury is from your Sun, the harder you may find it to actually communicate with people. You may feel as though they're not listening to me, they're not hearing me. So, and depending then on the aspects to your Mercury will show whether there is an easy flow of communication in your life or whether it's really difficult and it's uptight. So Mercury through the different signs. Let me take you through them really briefly. This is a huge topic, but I just wanted to give you a little taster. So if you've got Mercury in a fire sign, the fire signs are Aries, Leo and Sagittarius. And Mercury in a fire sign needs to get something off its chest. It needs to speak out. And very often Mercury in fire has said something and, oops, maybe I shouldn't have said that. I was a bit too quick off the mark. But Mercury in a fire sign can't help itself. It just flares up and it needs to communicate and it needs to get the information out. Mercury in a fire sign is usually quick, has a quick mind, a quick brain. Sometimes the brain works quicker than the words or the written words that actually come out of it. Then we've got Mercury in the earth signs. The earth signs are Taurus, Virgo and Capricorn. Now Mercury in earth signs, except for maybe Mercury in Virgo, tends to be a little slower. Doesn't rush at speaking. It thinks first. It doesn't want to rush into something just in case it's wrong and it hasn't considered everything. It's more grounded. Think of the earth signs. They want to look at the reality of a situation first before they jump in. Mercury in Taurus is perhaps the slowest before it really gets involved. Once it's involved, it's fine, but it's slow to communicate. It's not one of the fastest communicators. So let's say you're with a partner who's got Mercury in Aries, who's quick, quick, quick. Well, what do you think of this? And how should we do that? And where should we go? And Mercury in Taurus, it feels completely overwhelmed by this. It's like, please, just give me some time to think about this. So this is why it's important with compatibility. The Mercuries can sometimes be the most important factor in determining how a relationship's going to turn out on the day-to-day basis as whether you're going to be able to communicate or not. It's huge. Let's look at Mercury in the air signs. Mercury in the air signs are Gemini, Libra and Aquarius. Now Mercury is quite comfortable in an air sign because Mercury is fast, it doesn't want to be pinned down. And the air signs like to reason, they like to logic, they like to rationalise, and this is very much what Mercury likes to do. So my Mercury is in Libra, it's in an air sign. But with it being in Libra, I'm always worried about, well, what do you think? And how is this coming across? And would you mind if? And I don't like unpleasantness. I tend to shy away from anything unpleasant. That's very much Mercury in Libra. And I very much need balance in communication. So there's no way I would, for example, do a video here and just cover some of the signs. No, I've got to include everybody to make sure everybody has at least been given some of the attention. That's very much Mercury in Libra. Mercury in Gemini is in its rulership. So it's very comfortable there. It's a good communicator. It's quick. It's often interested in writing, learning, communicating, but doing things very quickly. And it needs a great deal of variety. And it needs to be around somebody, particularly with Mercury in the air signs. Mercury in Aquarius is exalted. So with Mercury in the air signs, we can be very impatient sometimes with people who communicate more slowly. This can be a real thing. It's like, oh, get on with it. That feeling if you've got Mercury in an air sign. Then we've got Mercury in water signs, and the water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Now, Mercury in water feels its way before it communicates. Okay, it doesn't jump in there like the fire signs and maybe the air signs sometimes, but Mercury in water is intuitive. Often Mercury in water may need to write about it first. Mercury in Pisces might need to paint it, might need to make a poem out of it. But Mercury in the water signs is very sensitive in its communication and sometimes can feel very rushed by a fire sign. If a Mercury is in fire, let's say you're with a partner who's got Mercury in Leo, who likes to be very bossy, who likes to tell you how to organise this and do that, what you should and shouldn't be doing. To a little Mercury in Pisces, who is timid enough as it is, who isn't going to speak up for themselves, who may have to learn how to be very assertive. So I feel like I'm rushing through this, but there is so much to share. My Mercury in Libra is dying to share all of it with you, but this is just a little taster. So look up your Mercury, find where your Mercury is, and think about, is it in the same sign as my sun? Is it in a different sign? And this will give you a flavour of how you communicate and how maybe you can learn about other people in your family or in your life as to how you can make allowances for them, because this is their natural communication style. Thanks for listening. I'll be back with more videos soon.